So this will be the third installment of building a project with SaaS Pegasus and Django and all that good stuff. So last time, if you remember, I was wrestling with the import of the zip file. So I've done some work offline and have fleshed out that code and fleshed out that test a bit. So now I have this this set of tests as well as this code that takes in a zip path and imports your entire Slack history from there. I've also fleshed out these models a bit, just adding a bunch of stuff that I think I'll probably need to the users and the message and stuff. So I don't think that would have been a particularly interesting bit of work to see. But now that that is functional, I want to build a UI for it. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. We will see how far we get, as always. And yeah, and I guess the other caveat I will add is that I live in South Africa. We are currently load shedding, which means that my power is out. My laptop is running on battery, and my Wi-Fi is also running on a bigger battery. So if this stream cuts out abruptly, that would be why. Let me also just quit Slack and Discord. Sorry, I should have done this already. And Dropbox. Okay. So, if you remember, we're importing messages into this app so that we can have an archive of our public Slack workspace. And so this is currently the screen that users will see when they're logged in. This is the default thing that just comes with SaaS Pegasus. I'm not going to mess too much with this because I'm slow and kind of bad at front end. But the first thing I'll want to do is just sort of like route people to upload their file, because right when you log in, that's the first thing that I want you to do. So in order to do that, I'm going to go back into the Slack app. So I'm going to create two files here. I'm going to create a URLs file, and I'm going to create a views file. And then I'm going to do something that you'll see me do a lot, which is just kind of copy paste from some other app, because I don't have the syntax memorized. So this is the subscriptions app. I'm just going to paste this in here. App name will be Slack, and the URL patterns will be, let's see, upload. Okay, so this should just create a URL at the upload endpoint for this app with a which will send us to the upload zip function in the views file, which we now have. I'll usually just like do something like this, just to like sort of make sure that I have things set up properly. And then the other thing we need to do is we need to add the app URLs to our main urls.py. So in Pegasus, the Pegasus way that team sort of URL routing is done is, out of the box at least, is everything under a team starts with like /a/ your team ID. And that's handled by these team URL patterns. And so, so I'm going to put that under here in the team URL patterns. So I'll say, let's do a path to Slack. And we'll do, let's see, we're going to include, let's see, apps.slack.ars. Okay. And so let's just first see if that works. Oops. Right. And the other thing, so the way this works, just as a little bit of trivia, so the single team URLs get defined here, and then where are the team URL? Yeah, so then they get prefixed with the path with the A and the team slug, which means that every view that's referenced by a team URL also needs to take in a team slug arguments. And then Pegasus also has this login and team required decorator, which will ensure that the user who is accessing this is logged in and has access to the team that they are trying to access. So now what did I do? It's just slow. Okay, so that works. Cool. So now, I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll replace this with template response, which will be a response to a Django template. And that will take in a requests and a path to a template. My computer is really struggling, which so let's see, Slack upload zip HTML. Okay, and let's create that in our templates folder with creating some other folders along the way. Okay, and again, like, you know, if we want, we can be like, we can try to just make sure that that got routed correctly. This should get bigger, yay. And so the, so templates in Pegasus, like I'm gonna start from the app home template, which was that first thing we were looking at. Typically extend from this app base. And then they have this block app and block, and then we can, sure, we'll stick in an app card. App cards are just like these, you'll see in a sec. And then let's see, so we'll define an H1. Get the title, upload your zip, your Slack archive file to get started. Oh, that's too long, probably. Upload zip. This is just sort of like, let's see. Yeah. So that app card just does this little shadowy thing, and by inheriting from the app base, we've gotten our navigation and stuff. Let's also just go ahead and add this to the navigation now, because we'll definitely want, well, yeah, we'll want that. So that lives in, let's see, in this case it lives in app nav menu items. And the team specific stuff is actually in the team navigation. So we can open up this team navigation. And I'll just copy this first one. I'll say translate Slack import. Wonder if there's an FA brands FA Slack. Yo. And then Slack. We want upload zip. And then this active tab thing is so if active tab equals Slack import, make it active, and then in our view, we need to do something like this. Just tell it which tab we're on, so we can sort of have a bunch of different views that all sort of show the same tab. Cool. Alrighty, so now we have our scaffolding here. We have our navigation. This is probably a decent place to take a checkpoint, so maybe I'll do that. Let's see, import UI. So let's see, we'll add our URLs, initial URL, now scaffolding for Slack import. Okay. Okay, so this is where things will probably get slower. So I'm not gonna mess with the UI too much right now, but we want to start with a file upload button for uploading a file, and we're going to pass that file to a view. Probably we want to do some work in the background, so we'll structure that as a Celery task, which Celery is an app that lets you run background tasks with Python, and it kind of integrates nicely with Django. Yeah, there's probably some clever HTMX thing that I should do to make this not require a full page reload. We'll see if we get that going. I probably won't start with that, but yeah, so this is where you learn how little I know about coding, and I'm just going to Google like HTML file upload. I would probably use ChatGPT-3 for this, but it's been a little bit flaky, so I'm not going to bother with that, but okay, so good. Actually, yeah. So let's go back to our upload zip file, make our form. I guess Django Forms probably has like a file upload, now that I think about it. Again, well, let's try ChatGPT or not. We'll do some parallel processing here. Django file upload form. Okay. How do I make a file upload with Django Forms? We're racing. Yeah, okay. Looks like ChatGPT-3 is probably going to win. I like simple is better than complex. don't want a model form. I see. Well, since this is like literally, it's so simple that maybe I'll just copy Vitor and not even bother with the using Django forms for this. So ID name, okay. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, that looks awful. Try to think if I want the upload to go to the same URL. I guess why not for now. Let's make it a different URL. Okay, so we lost. Okay, back here, let's make, so like upload is going to be where we render the UI, and then it's going to like upload file, I don't know, upload zip. I don't like these names, but we can change them later. And then we'll do this. We can require a post for this. It's like a little utility that is built into Django. But the nice thing about that is if I try to go to this URL now, once my server restarts, this will say like, this is saying like 405 method not allowed. So it's saying like this thing only expects a file, or only expects a post request rather. So form action will be URL Slack. What do we call that? Upload zip file. Okay. Let's see. I'm not using the Tailwind classes. I'm using like the Pegasus classes, mostly out of habit. Submit query. Why does it say submit query? Okay. I have no idea why it's kind of styled so weirdly. We'll also need a CSRF token. Yeah, okay. Good enough. And let's see what Vitor said. Okay. Method equals post. We don't really need that since we're requiring a post. Request.file is my file. Let's just, first I'm just going to print request.file since I don't actually know which one of these ID versus name is going to end up in the thingy. So let's do this. Let's see here. So, got a lot of stuff in here. Slack, archive, data. Okay. This one. Upload. Right. Didn't like it because it wasn't a post. Okay, I think that went through. Didn't go through, didn't go through. Okay. There was not a... Oh. There wasn't anything in request.files, which is this prints out here. Why wasn't there anything in request.files? Is he doing anything different from what I'm doing? Ink type, maybe. Inspect that and make sure that it is actually getting uploaded. Okay, it's got the ink type. Okay. Did have... Okay, let's use a debugger. I don't know, I should have some fancier thing that I should do for debugging, but this has served me sufficiently. So request.files. Okay, I see. So the key is file name, which corresponds to, I suppose, the name. So, I don't know. Slack zip. I don't know. This idea is probably just for the browser, I guess. Slack. Okay, so Slack zip. File equals this. And then so this equals file system storage. I haven't actually used this file system storage thing before. But oh, that was good. My power just came back. Okay, so well, it looks like this will do what we want. So let's just see. Let's see. File.name, file, print file name. Okay. Turn JSON response. This will be like an async thingy. I remember. I think we just do this like file name. This code isn't right, but I just won't worry about that for now. Okay, so try that again. What's happening? Reloading. Is my breakpoint still there? Yes, it is. Oh, it didn't. I didn't re-upload with the new IDs. So let's reload this page. Oh god. I know I said this before, but the streaming really kills my machine. Figure something else out for this. Get a new laptop. Okay, browse. Oops. Where did that go? No. Browse. Oh, that's so slow. Okay, this one. Oh, come on. I hate you. Why? What? There's no file anymore? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Okay, open the file. Upload the file. Hey, alright. Cool. So that looks to have worked. Looks like we've also got this media URL, which is kind of cool. This is that, whatever that class was, the file system storage. So obviously we don't want these files to be public, and we'll have to figure that out. But it does look like that file was uploaded and saved somewhere. Okay, cool. So I'm debating whether I want to just like try to finish processing this. Why don't I try to get this working, just doing it synchronously, and then if there's still time, we can try moving it to a background task. So I think this zip importer function, import from zip, expects a zip path. So let's just see what happens if we call it. I don't actually know what this file system storage.save returns. This content should be a proper, ready to be read from the beginning. It returns the name. And then use fs.url. Wonder what else. FS file system storage has a URL. A path is probably what we want. Let's see. File path equals fs.path. Import from zip file path and request.team. So when you use the login and team required decorator, the team will be available on the request. So this import from zip function takes a team, which I'll put in there, and let's just see, like, so I'm just gonna look at the admin for a sec. I'm trying to remember if I have any data right now. I don't even have data models. Okay. Okay, I think, so I think what happened is I changed my models and my migration is wrong. Let's try migrating Slack to 0 and then migrating again. Okay. That migrate 0 is a useful trick if you ever just want to wipe out a single app. Okay, yeah, no Slack channels. What's going on here? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing in there, just to confirm that that if I did manage to get this right on the first time, that it would work. It didn't crash, which is a good sign. Oh my God, look at that. Cool. So Slack channel object. Let's just like quickly, let's just quickly make this admin not so awful. So list, what is it? I thought it was fields. List display. List display. Probably want, let's see, the name. Probably want the team. Probably want, I don't know, description. Sure. Okay. Cool. I'm surprised at those names because I wasn't expecting that zip file to be from my SaaS Pegasus Slack, but oh, that's the team, that's why. Right, because the Slack workspace is actually a data model that that we don't have. We're sort of making the assumption that the Slack workspace is the team. That, I'm just going to make like a little to-do there. We might want a workspace. We might just save a couple things on the team itself, but it does seem like we want a workspace. Actually, we're definitely going to want a workspace. So I'll just delete the question mark, but we'll add that later. Let's go to the users and the messages. I'm a little nervous about showing the messages, but let's see. So the users have a username, a real name, an email. Maybe I don't know. Maybe email is the most. Team, username, real name is bot, sure. Maybe why don't we have a filter? So we can filter these by team or whether or not it's a bot. No emails, but okay, no emails. Let's make real name. Okay, I'm not going to do the messages because if by any chance I have some weird messages in my test Slack, I don't want that to somehow end up in this live stream. Okay, just separately I'm gonna commit less bad admin, and I don't know what that. Yeah, and I guess we could commit this bit too. Let me just delete this debug stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Initial synchronous upload. Okay. Okay. So far so good. The next thing we're gonna do is where were we? Here. Okay, so for a big file, this import might take some time to churn through the whole zip folder and process all the messages and everything else. So probably what we want to do is we want to have some kind of background task that handles that for us. So the sort of back end of this is pretty straightforward. So I'm going to make another new file called tasks, and then import zip task. This will take what do we want? We want a team ID, I suppose, which will be an integer, and we want a zip file name, which will be a string. Put this at task decorator on it, which tells Celery and Django that it's a task. And here is where we want to call the file path. All right, let's make the arguments order. Actually, I like having the team be the first argument, so I'm gonna keep it that way. And then I will say, let's say, so team equals team.objects team ID and import from zip file path team. Okay. So that's pretty much all you have to do with the tasks. I'm just gonna like check the example. Oh, I'll do this shared task thing actually. If you bind it, then you can do this progress. You can report progress back, which is something that I do know that I want to do. So it gets bound to this self thing, I guess. Self. Let's see if that works. Actually, let's just for kicks. I'm just gonna copy this code for now. Import counts equals 10. Just kind of like want to make sure that this thing gets called. And then in the view, instead of calling import from zip, we'll call import from zip task.delay. Is that what it's called? Oh, the ID is not smart enough to recognize it as a function. Nope. Really? Import zip file task. Oh. Okay, we'll just use that for now. Dot delay. The reason we pass the team ID instead of the whole team is that I don't know. Anything you pass to a task needs to be serializable. So we'll just kind of, maybe we'll also just print that the stuff made it. Let's see. I guess we could still get the team up here. Why not? Let's team.name. Okay, so again, we're still kind of mostly on the back end here, but I will try this again. Get the file. Oh, Celery is not running. So Celery runs as a separate thing. You can also, with Pegasus, you can also just use Docker and it'll run Celery for you as well. Yeah. So we'll run Celery. It doesn't like my Redis URL. Let's see why. Redis is how your web process talks to your Django process. If Redis URL in ev, use the Redis URL. My guess is that, yeah, this should be localhost. So the Redis is the Docker setup, but I don't know if I need to restart my Django server if I make data changes, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, that's happier. So Pegasus ships with a progress bar demo that uses Celery. So like if this thing works, okay, so you can see that's working fine, which means that that Celery is set up properly. Upload went through. Oh yeah, and it printed out my team name. It printed out my file name, and it counted to 9. So it is calling the task. It is doing it in a separate process. And now comes the fun part of hooking it up to the UI. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to do like an HTMX-y thing or a JavaScript-y thing. I guess like I'm more comfortable in the JavaScript world, although I think the HTMX world is where I'd like to be more comfortable. It's also probably more interesting. So let's try that. Basically every HTMX thing I do, I start with this examples, and I like kind of try to see if there's something that progress bar. That sounds good. Progress bar. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the button issues a post at the start to begin the job. Div is replaced with a new div that reloads itself every, yeah. Okay. I think this probably will work. So we're gonna need a, well, okay. First, let's try to get the swap working, and then we'll try to get the progress working. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to find HTMX. And we're gonna look in templates. Yeah, so Pegasus out of the box tries not to pollute your base template with too much external libraries and stuff. But you can just stick HTMX in like this, and then it will be available on every template page. This is my base template. And then, so we're going to go back to the file upload. Where did the file upload go? Import zip. Upload zip. So we'll wrap this form in div. I wonder if the form submission, I do think there is like a form submission example actually. Let me look at how I do that. The app. So the edit employee app here. Is there a form in here somewhere? Yeah, okay, so the whole thing is a form. Okay, so you put the HX post on the form itself instead of, so let me try it that way. So we'll do HX post equals, sorry, this should be HX post. It's that thing, whoops. HX target equals this, HX swap equals outer HTML, and I think we don't have to touch anything else, and so let's see if I press this button whether this gets replaced with some JSON. It does not. What happens? Did make a post. Post was forbidden. I wonder if it was like a CSRF, stale CSRF thing. Let's try again. Post is forbidden. Why? Let's see what this thing returned. CSRF. Do I have to do something special? Let's look. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Alright, well, let's try this one more time. Maybe it's just some browser refresh quirkiness. No. Let's see, the request has a bunch of gobbledygook. Content disposition. CSRF, middleware token. That seems like what I wanted. And CSRF token missing or incorrect. Huh. Do I? No, I'm getting grumpy. Input form. I'm just trying to compare to what I'm doing in this other example to see what's going on, but don't see anything. This is a long shot, but maybe if I change that to a button. It's because I don't have any better ideas. Oh, didn't like that. Let's see. That was a moment of desperation. Okay. Just because I don't feel like messing with this, let's make this CSRF exempt for now. We will fix that, but it's not sort of important to our needs right now. Okay, multi-value. Okay, so the post data is not coming through pretty clearly. I wonder if it's because of this enc type business. Let's see what I have defined here. HX post, nothing else. Let's see what happens if I delete these two things. Still a failure. Okay. Let's try HTMX post with file. Okay, that's promising. HX encoding. Sneaky little thingy. Hey, all right. I bet we don't need the CSRF exemption anymore. I was probably looking in the wrong place. We also made our task. Cool. So now, so because we're using HTMX, we don't want to return JSON. We want to return something more like a template. Let's see, request upload zip progress, and I don't know. We'll want to give it some context, but we won't bother with that yet. Okay. Let's just try. So we'll give it the file name. Alright. Your file is uploading. Okay. Let's see how we did. Oops. Just parentheses somewhere. Okay. Cool. Well, that was relatively smooth. It is tempting to work to get the full progress bar going. I have to wrap up my day in exactly 18 minutes. I'm a little nervous whether I'll be able to pull that off. But for now, let's first save our work. The reason I like this Git GUI thing is because like you can kind of like do like a mini quick code review and like, okay, I see all these printouts, let me get rid of these, and oh yeah, we do want to actually do the thing, but okay, whatever. Delete most of those printouts. Back up. Okay. Add HTMX to base templates. Upload async proof of concept HTMX. I'm not committing that to do because I want to like stare at it every time I open this, so that I'll just do it. Progress bar. What do I think? I think I don't want to try to get it done in 17 minutes just in case I fail. And this is also probably way long enough. So with that, I will wrap this up. And yeah, sounds good. Thanks for watching. Hopefully back